Live from Boston Broadcasting and the WhattaDay Studios, it's WhattaDay with your host, Joe Lowry.
Hey everybody, Joe Lowry, what a day, and today we have a very special guest. This one I'm excited for. She's known for her stint as a manager and interviewer with TNA Wrestling. She's a singer, she's in a band. They've opened up for stars like Pink, Nickelback, Three Doors Down, Stevie Nicks. The list is endless. She's also an actress who's appeared on numerous TV shows, including CMT's Running Wild with Ted Nugent. She's a video contributor for CBS's The Talk. Please welcome to WhattaDay the lovely, the talented, and vibrant Miss Goldy Locks.
Oh, wow, Joe. Again, what a day.
Welcome. That was great. Awesome. First off, Goldy Locks, where did the name come up with, and who is Moon Shadow?
You're so sweet. I really appreciate this. And Bill Apter, hey, lady, thank you for letting this be on your platform as well. Moon Shadow was my given name, and my parents were really into Cat Stevens. So it's after a very positive song called Moon Shadow. Yeah. If you ever get a chance to listen to the lyrics, they're really positive.
Yeah, you must have heard that song a million times growing up then, right?
I have heard it a million times. It's one of my favorites. Thanks for asking.
I actually, I work from home, so I have music choice on in the background. I have it on the 70s all day, and that song comes on at least once or twice, so that's awesome. I've been reading up on your bio and so forth. Now, it's noted that your dad was a talented musician, and you're a very well-established musician. Obviously, you're in a band, you sing and so forth. How big of an influence was your dad in doing singing and, going into a band and all that stuff?
That's a sweet question. No one's ever asked me that before, Joe. I appreciate that. My dad was a huge influence. So was my mom. My mom was in theater before she got really ill. So she was doing really big Broadway-esque plays and just huge in the theater world and then also in her community. So, that you never pushed me, but they were definitely all for it. But having a dad and, being a daughter, there's a different dynamic there with a father than there is a mother. And, my dad was just always singing and playing. And I just think for the dads that are listening out there, no matter if you have a son or a daughter, it's just so important that whatever you do, that you connect with your kid and teach them the things that you love, the things that make you tick. Even if it's, my best friend's husband, he loves softball, and their daughter, she's a champion, just the best. And it's so cool to hear them spending that, daughter daddy time. She's older now, 17, but I just joke, there's no way that she's ever going to do crack because she's just too busy playing sports. So it's a good thing to share your passion with your kids.
Yeah. All my kids are growing up out of college and so forth, but the best thing I ever got them into was sports, and I coach myself. So my daughter actually was a 3-sport athlete. I thought for sure volleyball was her game, but she went to Endicott College on a basketball scholarship. So, hey, go figure. But, anything to keep them off the streets and so forth. And, as I have friends who are high school principals and, in law enforcement, every time they pick up a kid after school, they ask them, why aren't you doing something after school? So it's very imperative, I think, nowadays.
It's night and day, dance, gymnastics, sports, karate, martial arts, all of that stuff. Get your kid into something. Even if you can't afford it, there's ways around it. Get them into something so they have their passion started and stay out of trouble.
That's awesome. Now, you formed a band called Goldy Locks, correct?
Yeah, years ago when TNA Wrestling started.
Yeah, you had some great relative success with that. You became the opening act for a number of bands, some of which I named in the intro. Can you fill us in some other big bands that you've actually opened up for?
Just due to the Impact Wrestling notoriety and marquee value that I had, we've opened for everyone from 70s, 80s.
Nice.
Just today, it's whenever you're in the area, if the venue and you have a relationship with the venue, if they're looking to fill that support and they want to bring people, really, you do the wrestling gimmick with it. You warm people up, you get them excited. And honestly, when we open for a Bret Michaels, Poison type.
Oh yeah. Now we're talking.
The women don't like it though. So you got to figure out a way to win them over before you even start.
Yeah. Yep, I hear you there. Love Bret Michaels, love Poison. It's funny, my son, I took one of our last concerts we went to was Poison, and here he is, like 20-something years old, loving Poison. And I'm like, how did you hear this? And it's in the video games. It's amazing that some of these video games now, and I've actually saw on TV somewhere that some of the top downloads now are 80s, 70s, and 80s songs.
Isn't that crazy?
So, like,
Crazy.
all of a sudden, it's coming back. What's old is new again, right?
I tell you.
Now, you had first you obviously in the band and so forth, but TNA found you, correct? This is like the opposite. Most people get wrestling and then they go that route, and then it's a platform that leads to another platform and so forth. But they found you singing, correct?
No, that's wrong.
No.
That's okay.
Boy.
No, it's
All
good.
right.
Good conversation starter.
No, but producers are on file. Notice now.
Yeah,
Okay.
Wikipedia's got there's a lot of interesting stuff on there. That's
Yep.
But it's cool. It's a good story. It'd be fun if they found me, but they could give a fat ass shit less. So it was me that pursued them. I had
really okay.
Yeah, I had the same same attorney, entertainment attorney, and she was friends with the Jarretts, with Jeff and Jerry, and told me about this new promotion in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And it was me getting on a plane back then, no Uber, no lifts, taking a cab and heading off to the office to just keep pounding their door down until finally they gave me a chance.
Nice. And obviously you succeeded with that because, that was your notoriety, TNA. Do you have any ill feelings towards them now? Do you keep in contact with anybody or no?
No, I've talked to Jerry, even through the COVID.
Yeah.
I've seen Jeff around the way. I mean, we didn't part on good ways, but it's 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? So I still talk to so many of the guys and some of the girls from when I was in it, and even when I wasn't. I'm gonna have Angelina Love on my show later on today.
Oh wow! I just had Velvet Sky on too. That's so funny.
They're fantastic.
She's awesome.
And you know what? I would like to plug something right now, and damn it, I'm gonna. So
go ahead. The platform is yours.
Yeah. So I was gonna say we're on Russo's brand, Velvet Sky, Angelina Love, and myself. We're also with Ben Hameen and the Hameen Media Group, and we all have a Patreon. And I want to encourage you, if you like wrestling, if you like the wrestlers, if you like managers and whatnot, please go check out all of our Patreons. Theirs is The Beautiful People, and mine is just Goldy Locks. And Joe, we're trying to do really, really cool shit. And even if you're at a $3 a month support tier, it helps. You know how long it takes to do all this stuff.
Oh boy.
Make it look pretty. Wow, I'm blown away at your professionalism and your research. So if you're listening, please check out patreon.com/GoldyLocks. But also, if you're listening, figure out a way to support Joe, whether it's a comment or a like or a subscribe. You got to do stuff to keep this all going, to keep you entertained. So that's my plug for the day.
That's it. Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, oh my God, I lost my train of thought because you complimented me. I hate when that happens. My goodness. Vince Russo, great guy. He's been on WhattaDay. He supports WhattaDay. He's a great guy. I try to push everybody over there. He's got some great shows and so forth. So Russo's brand, check it out. Good stuff over there. All right, I got to switch gears for a second because I just found this. I'm probably late to the ball game, okay? I saw an article online, and I mentioned before we went on the air that London and UK and all that stuff. I saw an article online from the Mirror. Does this sound familiar? Am I heading in the right direction? This is underground freak stuff, and I kind of like it. In a recent interview, you were quoted as being an extreme cheapskate. Is that right?
Wow, shit! If that stuff's even out yet already, that's amazing. What is the Mirror? Is that a UK based?
It's a UK, the Daily Sun and the Mirror. I think it was overseas. But hold on, I'm not done yet.
Will you send me that? That's amazing.
I will. Well, it's funny because this is why I always ask first, because you never know what's online now, what's true. But your face is on there. They got quotes and everything. They're saying stuff like you kind of like. I don't know how to put this, but you kind of down leftover drinks at pubs to save money.
Oh, it's all the time. Yeah. No.
Really? Oh my God. This
absolutely.
Is awesome. And then there's more. Hold on. It goes on to say that you will tip liquid spilt bear mats at the bar into a shot glass if you want something stronger.
What year was this out? You got to tell me what year is it?
I want to say it was like a month ago.
There's some Joe. You got to have me back on because there's some shit that's going to hit the fan soon.
Okay. Well, it's funny. Now, Oh my God!
I'm
Hope
the
this isn't like
cheapest.
breaking news. Go
Cheapest
ahead.
mother trucker on the planet. You
Are
have
you
to.
really?
I'm not ashamed to talk about my cheap. Does it talk about the
No.
socks that I use and it's stuffed down my pants too?
Oh my God, that was my next one. The loose socks from the local laundrette to help you. You use it as sanitary pads. I was like, I had to read that again. Like, are you kidding me? Because it's
Fold it.
cost effective and environmentally friendly.
Absolutely. I mean, think about where the phrase "she's on the rag" came from.
Oh my God, I know. Well, we're old enough to know that. Some
But
kids
you know,
don't.
it's not even old enough. Like that's just like that's where it comes from. She's on
Oh
the
yeah.
rag. Like, what do you think people all over the world did when they're menstruating? Do you think they had tampons and pads? And
Listen,
the
I've
thing
had.
with
Yeah,
the
I
COVID,
know.
don't even tell me that somebody listening didn't wipe their ass with whatever
I'm
they had
sure.
around when there was
I
no
know.
toilet paper to be found. Give me a break.
I got 2 daughters. I understand completely. I've done the 2 a.m. wake ups. I know what it's like. I understand. Get whatever you can to stop the flow. I get it. I get it. So, so obviously, I'm not talking out of this. I'm not taking this out of context because I
No.
love it. I love it. Because right now you just solidified the fact that we need to hang out. That's just the bottom line. Because this is classic stuff right here. This is classic.
Every dad needs to know what it's like when they've got a teenage daughter
Oh
bleeding
God.
or a wife. Like,
Yep.
guys you don't understand this. Like,
Yep.
maybe you drink too much at the pub and you vomit or you shit yourself. There's a whole new,
Please.
level when there's other bodily fluids entering
Oh
into
yeah.
your life.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we've all been there. Come on, I got Navy days I can talk about overseas too. So I hear you there and so forth. My goodness, like I said, I have daughters, so I've seen it all. It's funny. My first wife, she passed away. God bless her soul.
I'm sorry.
I actually, she was in labor with my son for like 27 hours, and of course it was my first kid, her first kid. And the blood and the mess and everything. And I started taking pictures left and right. And everyone's like, why do you want pictures of this? I said, to show my son when he goes on his first date, this is what could happen. And it worked. So
Oh my God.
I was young. I was like 23 years old, snapping away, the blood and guts everywhere.
How old were you?
I was about 23 when that happened. Yeah. Yep. When my first son was born. Yeah.
I'm sorry about your loss.
No, that's okay. No, I only mention that because it's so funny because I tell that story all the time. People laugh. It's like, yep, here are the pictures. Before you go on that first date, take a look because this is what could happen.
Some good birth control, Joe.
There you go. There you go. All right. As you may or may not know, we have a unique way here at WhattaDay to get to know our guests a little bit better. Not that after that last segment, we don't know much about you, but anyways, it's kind of like a Q&A thing. It's like a word association. We'll put it like that. I'll do a quick question. First thing that pops into your mind, Goldy Locks, are you ready?
I'm ready. What a day.
All right, here we go. Favorite food?
Shrimp.
Really? Okay. Favorite color? I know these are boring so far.
Not at all. Pink.
Pink. There you go. And we got the pink on the bottom there. Okay. What is the one thing nobody knows about you, but you wish everybody did?
Wow.
That's a good one, right?
If I wanted people to know about it, I'd tell them. So I guess
I've had tons of answers. Some people want to be an archaeologist, or they study photography. Something that you're really that you want everybody to know, but they don't know.
I don't know that I want them to know it, but something that people don't know is I'm really an introvert and I'm actually really quiet and just like to stay to myself and work really hard. But I force myself to do shows like this and to do my show and other shows just so that I am more well-rounded. Wow,
you are a natural. That is for sure. Okay. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke, of course.
Really? Okay. That seems to be the number one thing. Okay. Fill in the blank. Social media has become... I've had so many
exhausting.
That's good. All right. Awesome. All right. This is kind of along the same lines as the other question. If you could be anything or anyone for one day, what would it be?
It would be somebody who could speak every single language in the world.
Really?
See if I could do something to help people get along better. That's been my genie in a bottle wish, is just that I could speak I'm sure I'd be killed, but I would like to be able to speak every language that there is.
That's the first unique answer I've heard. I've heard like crazy stuff, but that's really good. You have a choice of one or the other: a snowy mountain cabin getaway or a sun-drenched day at the beach.
The getaway. I'm from Minnesota. So
that's right. You like that.
Yeah.
Most embarrassing moment. We've all had one. What do you think yours was? Besides the beer drinking at the pubs.
getting bit in the vagina at a show and passing out. Needing to go to the hospital and getting a tetanus shot.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How in the hell did that happen?
Somebody backing up into me that I thought they were backing up, but they were really walking forward, and they opened their hair and grabbed my ankles. I was crouched down singing on the end of a stage in Valdosta, Georgia at Rock and Rodeo back in the day. And they grabbed me and like bit through and pierced my skin. And I needed to get a tetanus shot over a human bite mark. And now, while you're showing pictures to your son of your wife's labor, I'm having to explain why I have teeth marks in interesting areas.
Okay, I've never heard that before. Somebody grabbed you on stage and did that to you?
Yeah, people take a lot of pills and things at shows. I don't know what they were on.
Wow. Okay.
It was a chick. So
hey, of course it was, because that's what it is. That's what it always is, right? I mean, it wouldn't be a guy, it'd be a girl, right? Sure. Oh my goodness. And so, okay, so I got to follow up because this is the reporter in me coming out. You still have teeth marks there?
I've had like a little bit of cosmetic surgery done to try to alleviate that. And then I'm constantly rubbing scar cream on my crotch for like the last 9 years. So yeah, I mean, it's just a funny story where I have to like tell somebody that I'm with my partner, like, oh,
have you ever divulged this online before?
I have, yeah, a couple.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Times. Yeah, I think Hannibal got the first one. I mean, you know Hannibal.
Oh my God! Figures Hannibal would get that right. Oh my goodness! Yeah. I gotta tell you, you are the first person I met that's ever happened to in that way. I should say in that way.
It's probably the last. I mean, it was a really freaky night.
Okay, I gotta dig into this more. Jeans? Were you wearing jeans? Thin pants?
No, I had on like a tutu type of skirt. So
easy
access, I had like like little biker shorts underneath it. But yeah, I mean they bit really, really, really hard. And then the follow up to this story is I did a wedding during the COVID this year.
Okay.
And there was a bunch of people that drove in from Georgia, and we were all standing outside. The band was playing, and then I also do photography, thefactoryphotography.com. Yeah. I was getting ready, and I had my camera out, and I said, I need to get you guys all together for one shot. I don't know how we got into it. I said, well, what do you do? And he said, I'm a firefighter. I'm an EMT. And I said, where? And he said, I'm in Valdosta, Georgia. And I said, it's really funny. I've got this. He was the guy.
No way.
That picked me up and took me in the ambulance to get the tetanus shot.
Oh my God.
He was like, oh my God, you're that. Do you know that you're like an urban legend? And that was it. So, it really happened. And I had it validated at a wedding just this last November. What small world.
Any videos of this? Do I get around pictures? Okay. God. So I'm trying to grasp this because I've seen crazy stuff at concerts. I've seen girls expose themselves like the opposite. I've never seen somebody physically attack the singer.
Yeah, they just wanted a bite of something juicy, I guess, Joe. So
my goodness. I mean, I love to help out. I love that stuff too, but Jesus Christ, in front of all those people.
It's a little Yeah, the passing out and hitting your head and like all that. That's
so you didn't finish your set. You got taken care of.
I didn't finish my set. God. That same club.
Yeah.
Maybe 6 months prior, that same club.
Yeah.
Our drummer abruptly stopped, and I looked back like, what are you doing? And he just looked like he was gonna start some shit. And I didn't understand. Yeah. And all of a sudden he like gets up and walks by me. Well, apparently there was a guy pleasuring himself at the end of the same catwalk, so this place was a hot spot for freaks.
Oh my God. Have you gone back since?
I mean, we went back the next time because we were under contract, the vagina biting. I think that was it. And then I think that place closed due to just too much liability.
You think so? Oh my goodness. So what happened to the female that said hello to you?
Who knows? I mean, who knows? Like, I'm dealing with the club that is kind of by my house right now. I'm a musician. I love live music, but what's going on over there is so freaking crazy. And it's like, I'm just wondering who the owner or the management is blowing because they just won't get shut down. Like we're experienced enough and we're adults enough to know like when stuff's a little funky, that there's more to it than what.
Oh, your gut tells you too. I've been in those situations. I've interviewed rock stars and everything. And when something's going down that your gut knows, you know what I mean? You try to be a professional, but something's going on. And I've been there, but Jesus, mother of God, what a sight that must have been. Oh my God, I'm having a hard time here.
Yeah.
Okay, well, my next question, I'm not sure if I keep hitting this thing. My next question is, I don't know if this is going to be top, but what's the weirdest or craziest thing you've done in public?
Oh, lots of things. I have no fear when it comes to that. Like I said, I am an introvert, but I just look at it as like an alter ego. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I think one night I was in a fight with the guy that I was dating.
Hmm.
He was being very unreasonable and starting to become what I call a monster. Whereas when you do too much for somebody and they just keep expecting more and more,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I'd bought him a bunch of stuff. I had
Um,
helped him decorate his place and whatnot, and he found something really petty to say that I didn't do right after I did all of this. And it set me off so bad
I
that
hate
I was
that. I
just like,
hate that.
I was just done. And I was like, I really need a pizza because I don't eat a lot of carbs. And that
I
was more,
love pizza. I
yeah,
love pizza.
I wanted a piece of pizza. That's all I wanted. I was like, a piece of pizza will
It's all.
calm me down. And so I remember going to Domino's and they
Yeah.
were closed 20 minutes early and that
Oh,
wasn't okay.
and
So
here comes the snowball effect. I can feel it. Yep.
I tried to
Yep.
smash in their window glass to let me in. And then I'm realizing, like, you are out of control of your body. This is years
Oh
ago.
my goodness,
And
that
then
is
I just
crazy.
remember trying to smash in with my car, but I hit my car and broke the light. And then I just remember thinking, they're calling the cops. You'd better back up so they don't see your license plate. I hit
Oh,
another couple of cars on my way doing
wow.
that and then just left. It was a bad night. I didn't get my pizza. So there
Oh
you
my
go.
goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's your favorite kind of pizza since we're on the subject?
Just pepperoni with black
Pepperoni?
olive and mushroom. That's it. That's it.
I've been on this hamburger kick lately. I don't know what it is.
I
Some
like it.
people, some people spice up the hamburger a certain way and mix. Oh, I don't know. It's just crazy. Now I want pizza, so I know what I'm
Me
having for dinner
too.
tonight.
And I'm on a carb-free keto, so thanks a lot, Joe.
Oh, I did the keto thing too. I love it. I lost like 20 something pounds. It was great.
You
But the thing
did?
is, yeah, but then your cholesterol goes sky high. I mean,
Mm,
it's an all fat diet. I get it,
I
but I
don't.
mean,
I don't do the all fat. I do it
no.
more like what a weightlifter or a bodybuilder bikini
Okay,
competition would do.
okay, yeah,
So lots of lean meat and broccoli,
yeah,
asparagus, and all that. I don't do
broccoli.
a lot of the fat. You're right on the cholesterol. I think that's wrong.
I got sick of cauliflower. I loved it at the beginning. Cauliflower pizza, cauliflower potatoes, whatever, all that stuff. I just one day I woke up and I'm like, I think I'm done with this because like there's just, I mean, there were a million recipes out there. Don't get me wrong. It just after a while, it's like, my God, this is like a full time job.
It
I
is a
mean,
full time job.
you're trying. I know weight loss. Obesity is a big thing in this country and so forth. But when you're trying to change your lifestyle, that's a major lifestyle change. And some people just take it like it's nothing. Like, oh, I'm going to go on keto for 2 months, or I'm going to do this. I'm like, well, good luck, and it's the same result over and over. But yeah,
If
the keto
you
thing.
if you look at any wrestler, if you look at
Yeah,
any athlete, if you look at Arnold Schwarzenegger, look at anybody with the perfect body, they're all doing the same thing. And that's your lean meats, your vegetables, and then a
yep,
complex carb like
yeah,
wild rice, brown rice, quinoa, steel cut oatmeal,
yeah.
a sweet potato. And then you got to look at also, which people in America especially don't, maybe it's worldwide now, you got to look at your portions.
Oh
Like
yeah, it's over.
people
Oh
say,
yeah.
I can't eat, I can't lose weight and what.
Oh, you're muted again.
If you really tracked what you are eating, you'd realize that as a nation, we eat just
Oh,
everything's supersized, bigger, better, get more. It's like if you looked at the size of the portion of food at a fast food restaurant, when you'd
yeah.
be
Oh yeah.
fine you'd be fine if you just had a little burger or something, but it's like supersized fries and extra. Even the candy bars at the fuel stations, they're
I think
huge.
I think it's also a country type thing because I don't know if that's the right word, but growing up was always breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I went in the Navy and I'm overseas and we're in Spain and I'm trying to find breakfast. They don't open till like 5 or 6 o'clock at night. Kids go to nightclubs to have dinner and hang out.
Yep,
It's like a
different
different
world.
lifestyle, but nobody's overeating there. Like
No,
I would even get like a cheeseburger and I'd look at it like this is not very big, and they're like, well, that's the size, and I'm like, okay, well, that's portion control. I get that. I found myself during COVID, I'd go to the meat market and buy a bunch of steaks because I like steak, at least once a week, and I ended up cutting them in half, and it was just as filling. You don't
yeah.
have to eat a whole big prime rib or ribeye, and because that's what it is. You can cut those things in half, and a lot of people don't know that. And
No, and it's $8 billion a year in obesity
of course,
related,
of course,
illnesses, and
yep,
between diabetes and
yep,
cancer and just there's
everything.
just heart, everything, liver, kidney.
Yep.
You can just cut your portions down, drink more. Can you here? I'd show you this, but I don't want to mute. But can you see
water.
that?
Yep, water. Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's all that I drink all day. So.
No, I don't blame you one bit. One of the best stories I ever heard was a friend of mine. He lost like 40, 50 pounds within a reasonable amount of time. And I said, what was it? He's like, diet and exercise. What a concept. And that's all it was. Portion control, diet and exercise, not overeating, not undereating, not starving yourself or whatever. But it was just diet and exercise. Who would have thought, I mean, our metabolism slowed right down. I was a 3-sport athlete. I did everything. Even when I had the kids, I coached all the way up until they went to college. It wasn't until like the last 10 years, all of a sudden I look down. I'm like, what's going on here? I'm not as active as before, So it happens, but diet and exercise is probably the key for everybody, I would think.
If you get up and download 5 apps for different body parts, they're everywhere, free apps on the Play Store, and do 10, 15, 20 minutes every morning, or when you have a break, you would be mind blown at the results in a month or 2 months.
Sure.
If you just stay consistent and get excited about, God gave you one body. I really do believe that it's a temple. And there are people out there with horrible illnesses or cancer or whatever that would give anything to have your shell. And it's like, that's the least that you can do is take care of it. And plus you have more energy and you feel great. And I mean, Joe, you don't know this, but like half of my other life is dedicated to health and wellness, goldycares.com. It's my passion. And I like to see people thriving in their relationships and happy and feeling good about themselves. Like that's a really big part of my life.
I got to tell you, that's not being an introvert. That's for sure. You like to help people. That's like the opposite, right?
I still am. I do calls all day long. Like all I do is get on the phone with people that are on our health and wellness team. And I talk to their friends and their family and I love it, but they have no idea that I'm just like,
right. Last question, top or bottom?
Bottom.
And I'm talking about bunk beds.
Yeah. Bottom. Top is fine, but I think that guys get I think in their minds, they want that because they're like, ooh, and then they freak out because they're not in control. Like I'm just saying, a lot of guys like to fantasize about stuff, but when they actually get it, they don't like it.
Oh, I know. Same with girls. I get it.
True. No,
I know. I understand. I totally agree with you. I'm on the wagon there. I know what you're saying. I know there's that image that, and then when it comes down to getting in the ball game and so forth, it's like, oh no.
It is. And guys always say they want this strong, independent woman. And honestly, I think 95% of the men out there are so scared and so insecure. No offense, guys, but it's true. Even the biggest, baddest, tallest, most gorgeous, this and that, I just see right through them. And there's a lot of things that they're insecure about, and they don't want a strong, secure woman. They freak out on that. And that's something that I am, and I've struggled with for like a long time, is finding somebody that can match that.
It's called denial. A lot of people know it. A lot of people, and all of a sudden I'm getting married, and it's like, what do you mean you're getting married? You said you weren't going to get married. And it's like, I get it. I totally understand where you're coming from. I do. Wow. Okay. But I was referring to bunk beds, by the way. So
yeah, I got it. Sure.
Awesome. Well, what's next for Goldy Locks? Fill my listeners in and Bill after his guys. What's going on with Goldy Locks? What's happening? What's on the horizon?
Well, stuff I'm not supposed to talk to because I signed an NDA, but I guess the mirror is already talking about it. So there's going to be some really magical, awesome stuff coming out this next year. And I'd love to come back on the show. But even more importantly than that, please follow at Goldy Locks, Goldy with a Y, Goldy Locks Rocks on Twitter and Instagram, because there's a really important message with the show and the things that are in the works right now. And that is, I don't like the word hope, are you pregnant? I hope it comes out okay. You expect, So I expect the people that are listening who have had any just bumpy roads during COVID or even not during COVID, I want you to get something out of like all of the great stuff that's coming up in the future for me. And that is, don't lose sight of your goal and your dream. Like keep chipping away at it every day and figuring out people to ask questions to or to talk to so that whatever it is that's burning in your heart, that it sees the light of day and people hear it. But people aren't going to know what it is that you really want to do if you don't speak up and tell them. And my mom used to always say, God rest her soul, is God helps those who help themselves. So the whole COVID, I didn't lose sight of this beautiful thing that's happening for me. Some might think it's freaky or like gross or whatever. I call any opportunity in entertainment beautiful. Some might say like, well, didn't you lose focus or lose hope? Like, no, I did not allow it to creep into my head that everything's going to hit the fan and I'll never see it go down again. And a lot of people got fired during wrestling and let go, and they're starting to get their jobs back or different, better opportunities. So, don't lose sight of the things in your heart that really make you tick, that you really want. Like, keep going after them, no matter how weird it's been over the last year. Like, keep going.
That's what I always said. I go, when one door closes, another opens. And if that doesn't happen, call a carpenter. And that's what I do. That's how I am. I started on this path 4 or 5 years ago doing WhattaDay, which covered like everything under the sun, because as a kid, I would say WhattaDay as like a nervous tick, and people would give me sports, weather, anything, good news, bad news, and all that. And I turned this into a show, and it's gone to wrestling. But now I got Martha Quinn coming on the show. My show, it's kind of evolving now. Everybody's path is different. In the straight and narrow path is nobody's gone down a straight and narrow path. We all have turnoffs, and it's what you do when you turn off that helped you. So
that's
people
really
like you,
cool. Martha Quinn's gonna be great. And I was gonna say, how was it to interview Charlotte Flair?
It was all right. It was kind of like what was the word I'm looking for? I wish I had met her off camera first before, and then she was great. Don't get me wrong, she's a great guest. But the one reason that I was really gunning for her is if you saw my daughter, it mimics Charlotte Flair.
Okay,
they played the same sports, they did everything. I had that connection with her, but I wish if I ever did it again, I would show her that connection again.
Okay,
so
fair
it was
enough.
good. It was great. She did a promo for me and everything. Loved it. But I just wish I had more time. You know what I mean? I don't have any regrets. I definitely do it again. I'm sure I will. But she was great. I mean, I just wish I was a little bit more of the father-daughter stories I could tell her than, just wrestling and so forth.
Well, it comes across as an absolutely flawless promo, and I'm sure the interview comes across that way. And kudos to you for getting such an awesome guest. Same with Martha Quinn. That's going to be great. I can't wait to see.
Yeah, Martha's really hot. She gave me. It was funny. I was on Facebook with her over the summer, and she did like a birthday thing. And I said, "Oh," and I put in the comments, "Oh, it's my birthday." And next thing you know, she's like messaging me, "What's your address?" and so forth. And I got this awesome autograph. WhattaDay Joe. Hey Joe, WhattaDay. I have it right behind me there. She was really great, like this confetti type container with happy birthday candy in it and stuff like that, just out of the blue. And we chat via email, and she's going to come on. So, she's out in San Francisco. She does iHeartRadio, Big 80s, things, stuff like that. So it's like I said, one door opens, one closes, another opens. You know how it is. It keeps getting better and better, and I love it. And I'm so excited to have you on. But right now, I am flabbergasted that somebody actually bit your yoo-ha. I can't believe that. That is insane. I'm having a hard time with this. Why can't I? I think it's the gall that somebody could do that right then and there. I don't know. That's
I've had people do so many very violent things to me singing.
Yeah. Oh, really?
That there's a difference between when we're performing our original music, and then there's a difference between when we're doing a cover show. And that was a cover show, and people are just really effed up and high and drunk, and they do such disrespectful things. Like, unless you've ever been in a cover band, then they don't even know what they're saying, and it's just, I love it. But that cover shows are a whole different beast than showing up as an original band.
I've interviewed Baby Doll, and one of my questions was like, nowadays wrestlers come down the aisle, no one's near you. They're at bay. But back then, they had to get through the people. And I'm like, what's the worst thing that's ever happened? She's like, what do you think? I guess at one point somebody, smacked her on the butt. She turned around. She noticed the person was sitting on a chair, and it was a pregnant lady that grabbed her ass. And she's like, I was about to clock this person till I realized she was standing on a chair, one thing, but she was also pregnant. So I'm like, and there it is. Go figure, things like that.
I probably would have hit her.
Yeah.
And, you know, like you just
0 to 60, just like that.
yeah, no, that stuff
Awesome.
happens all the time. And it's so crazy because you'll hear all of these people like, oh, you should report that to what HR. There's no HR in entertainment. Like, you're delusional.
It'll
You live
spin.
in your 9 to 5 corporate.
It'll be spun around too, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I've seen that way too many times too. So, but thank you so much for coming on. This is like you were on my bucket list. Whenever I started following and so forth, I'm like, I got to get around WhattaDay. I got to get around WhattaDay. And everybody knows, you know, I don't have people flagging down guests for me. I have to do all the dirty work sometimes. So, and I'm like, no, boom, come on. And you were like right there. You said, yep, right away. I knew you were a good person right then and there. And it's awesome just to have you on WhattaDay.
I really appreciate you very much having me. It's been an absolute honor. And thanks for doing your research and just being an overall pleasant dude. I appreciate it.
Awesome. I appreciate that. And one more thing, how can everybody get a hold of you on social media? I know how, but you want to let the fans know how they can get a hold of you?
Sure. And it's Goldy with a Y, Goldy Locks Rocks on Twitter and Instagram. There's probably 20 pages on Facebook. If you want to find me there, feel free to dig around Goldy Locks. There's a million of them. And like I said, please check out our patreon.com/Goldy Locks. We're doing some really fun, different stuff than a lot of the other people's. So we really appreciate your support.
Thank you so much for coming on. I greatly appreciate it. Bill Apter appreciated it. He just texted me. He said, tell her I said hi. He always texts me while I'm recording. It's so funny. He's like,
That's
he always
so
thinks
cool. Bill's been a longtime friend. He's an amazing guy.
He's a great guy.
Best in the business. He'll do anything for you. Get Bill on your show singing.
Oh, he's been on. I've met him. We've had a couple of, we did a great promo. He was in town for a wedding and I went up and met him and I was doing like a WhattaDay promo in the hotel lobby and he came walking over like an old man, like, who are you? What are you doing? It's great. I have it online. It's on my YouTube page. It's the funniest thing, but we have a chemistry. So that's awesome. But thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, honey. You have a wonderful, wonderful WhattaDay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the lovely, talented, and vibrant Miss Goldy Locks. Check her out, patreon.com. She's part of the Russo brand, correct?
Yes.
Check it out. And you can find her online and so forth. But again, I want to thank her so much for coming on. Everybody, you can see this interview exclusively on Bill Apter's OneWrestlingVideo.com. But for now, I'm Joe Lowry. What a day.
What a day.